Hello, Miss Nilechi. How are you? Hi, everybody. What's going on? Happy Thursday. Happy last day of October. Like, y'all, I'm telling you, October just went. Kila month's on your way, you know, you gotta love Nigerians. We've got, we're so dramatic, and we've got description for different sounds. What am I trying to think of? When you say something goes really fast, phew, or something, something like that. But that's one of the things I love about Nollywood movies. It's a matter of Nollywood, like, no, it's always very interesting. But I'm telling you, it's gone. Like, October's like, I ain't playing with y'all. Like, y'all just, I ain't playing. October is the day Christmas. October to read Father Christmas. Hi, everyone. This is Attorney Abisola Adebola Olale, immigration attorney based in Alabama, representing immigration clients in all 50 states. Come on in, say hello. If you just went scrolling, I was like, okay, what the heck is she talking about? Yeah, just hold on. Come on in. You're welcome. We talk about immigration, all things immigration, prayers, testimonies, encouragement, everything you can think of. Hey, Epic Movement, how are you? Hello, Billionaire Vibes. I love that. Gotta speak it before you see it. Come on in, say hello. Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube family, Instagram family, come on in. Let me see who this is. I can't do that. You're great. All right. It's been pouring all evening here. I'm doing well. Where's my glasses? Like, don't be fooled by the eyes. Well, anyway, happy last day of the month. I mean, I think October, even though we're pretty fast, we're grateful. Hello, Miss Edna Sanctuary. We're grateful for the blessings that God sent our way. Grateful for the testimonies. Grateful to share in those unexpected breakthroughs, and even those who are still yet to receive those expected or the expectations. It's coming. The year is not over. It's coming. So hang in there and just don't give up. Keep believing and stay focused on God. Set your eyes above on what He alone who's able to do all things. But anyway, if you are just joining us for the first time, we would love to welcome you. Let us know what state, country, wherever it is that you're joining from. We come together on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time zone. Talking about time zone, y'all don't forget to change your clocks. We're falling back. Spring forward. Yeah, we're falling back. So we're gaining an hour this weekend. So don't forget, for whatever reason, I was confused myself when I get into the office. I do it at home, but then because it's the weekend, and by the time I get back in the office, it's like the Tuesday. And I'm like, okay, well, how many times you can it? It was like too early. It's like, no, you haven't changed your clock. But anyway, hi, Miss Avena. How are you? Every Tuesdays, Thursdays, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Any other time zone, I don't know. Ask Siri, Alexa, Google, something. But we could talk all things immigration. We celebrate with one another, share topics. We take questions and give general answers, nothing specific to anyone's case. If we can help you with your immigration case, hello, Miss Marcella. How are you? I'm so happy for you. You have no idea. If we can help you with your immigration case, our contact information is 334-341-4475. I'm going to get them. And olalayalawfirm.com, info@olalayalawfirm.com. We will be glad to represent you and be honored and privileged to work this immigration journey with you. You can also contact us on WhatsApp, same number, 334-341-4475. We do not take calls on WhatsApp. WhatsApp is strictly for text messages. If you need to talk to somebody, call us during our business hours, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Alabama Central Standard Time. Monday through Friday, weekends, you will have Lydia help you with text messages. And so you would get someone no matter what day of the week is. Now, if you text somebody at 2 a.m., you're just texting for your own good because, well, sometimes I'm not awake at 2 a.m., but yeah. If you text, they want to, nobody's going to answer at 2 a.m. because we're supposed to be sleeping. But anyway, thank you, Miss Sanctuary. All right. And, oh, by the way, it's Halloween. Okay, yeah. I don't have babies anymore. Thank you, Jesus. I was telling DJ there was a photo that you know how Facebook shows you memories and all that. There was a photo that showed up with him of 6-7 years ago, and Halloween is like, I don't miss Jose. It's like you get home from work and then you're going from house to house and throw out candy. Please make it make sense, because that's what it is. And I enjoy from me candy. Then what? So, and y'all don't judge. Y'all just keep your judgment to yourself, what I'm about to say. But in my subdivision, you should have seen, like, I came home and from the entrance of my subdivision, rows of cars. I was like, Shelley, like, what, something else going on besides Halloween? Like, kids all over town. Like, it looks like everybody from wherever just came to my subdivision. Was like, okay. So that, first of all, irritated me. Girl, don't keep your judgment to yourself. So I was like, you know what? For that reason alone, I'm not even going to give nobody candy. First of all, I'm more candy anyway, so it was a good excuse. They just rang the bell for nothing. I didn't, like I said, your judgment to yourself. I didn't open my door for nobody. First of all, Halloween isn't it like, you can't. Doesn't it go against Christianity or something? I don't know. Just saying. But they rang the bell. I didn't answer. That's it. Let's talk immigration. Yeah, exactly. Let's talk immigration. What we're talking about tonight, let us talk about, and if you're just joining us for the first time, please note that we would get to questions at the end of the topic we want to talk about. Do not repeat questions. It's just a lot easier to go through that. And before we get to the topic, so mark your calendars. You've got to register for the webinar. We are doing it. We're doing it. It's going to be, let me see if I can share that on Facebook and YouTube. It's going to be, so this is Nigerian divorce decree webinar. Like, y'all don't understand that in a typical week of consultations that I have on immigration, I would go out on a limb and tell you that 50% of my weekly consults have to do with one issue or the other with Nigerian divorce decree. I call it an epidemic because it's something that is just become something else. And you have to understand also that it's not just about when you get the first green card. It's not about a 2-year green card anymore. USCIS is pulling out, they're just doing all kind of stuff. When people file for I-751, I've got quite an uptick in cases of notice of intent to deny, request for evidence on I-751s regarding divorce decrees, where it's the same divorce decree that was used to get a 2-year green card. They turn around and say, oh, by the way, we should not have approved this because now we question your divorce decree. And also, they're doing that in citizenship. Someone got a denial of a citizenship application. I met with her this morning. She's had her green card for 7 years now. So she filed based on 5 years, got to her interview, and basically she got a notice of continuance. At the end of the day, they told her that they denied her case based on the fact that USCIS claimed she was not lawfully admitted as a permanent resident because they're claiming due to the divorce decree, she was never legally free to marry. That's what we're seeing. It's almost like a madness going on. This is where you have to come in. I just don't. Wait, you're going to pay me more in consultation for just half an hour than what the attendance fee is for 2 hours. It's $75. And once again, like I said on Tuesday, I'm saying it again. I'm gaining nothing from this. Every single person who pays, and all the total amount that we get is going to special guests for his time, for educating us and all that. That is one of the people that I go to when I have a case where I have a client who's got a problem with a divorce decree. I reach out to barrister Henry Chichin and say, hey, what's the deal? It's me again. It's me again, my client, and our divorce decree. So this is a webinar, November 9, 2024, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you are, say, in Georgia or Maryland, that's going to be 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. If you are in Texas, it's going to be the same time as Alabama. If you're in Louisiana, it's the same time as Alabama. If you're in Florida, depending on what part of Florida is, it could be 11, it could be 12. You need to sign up, and it's on our website, on our social media platforms. It's very self-explanatory. If you need help, you can call our office. You're also able. So what do you get in this webinar? You get someone who's coming to explain to us what is the right format in statutory high court decrees. What should you see? What does your what would your student number look like? If you've got minor children, why they should have to be the requirement of them being listed in your divorce decree. There's another thing that's come up recently, Section 57, whether it should be not applicable or applicable, or should it have a date. And then if you've got a really, really messed up defective decree, is there any solution to it? And if there's a solution, how do you go about that? That's basically what he's going to be talking about. And you get an opportunity to, when you schedule, attach whatever the divorce decree is, attach it to your scheduled appointment, the scheduled webinar. And before, we're going to send all of that to him so that he reviews that and he's able to tell you directly. It's going to be Zoom. So you're not required to, you can turn up your video, because some people, we got someone saying, hey, is this something? I don't want people to know about what's going on in my life. That's fine. You don't have to turn your video off. Your voice is fine. So whatever makes you comfortable. The goal is to, if it's possible, to prevent you from having a denied case, or for instance, people who file for VIA cases, for instance, you've already divorced the abusive spouse, so you can't get a new divorce in the United States and then remarry them because you're divorced from them. You can tell an abuser, okay, I want to remarry just to get your people. No. What if you got an opportunity to actually get your papers right before USCIS makes a decision? Have someone who is an expert in that field to look at it. So let me show you. Let me get my glasses so I can see. Okay, so let me, let's see. Okay, share screen. If you are on YouTube and Facebook, you'll be able to see my screen. If you're on TikTok and Instagram, you probably want to come over. But the post is on this Instagram page. It is on Facebook. But it's also, the link is also on our website. So that's what I just want to show. If you go on our website, so I'm going to share this. If you are on YouTube and Facebook, let me know if you're able to see my screen. Okay. Did I just, okay. I think you guys can see my screen. Someone let me know if you can see my screen. Anybody, can you see my screen? Just so showing you our website. And so where it is very, very straightforward to go to. Okay, thank you. Let's see, let me go back here. Okay, so right there on the home page, when you get on our home page, you would see that right there. Where I'm circling, that button is all you have to click right here. Where it says divorce decree webinar, and it's a class. I mean, it's a group. So, and there's a limit to it. So I don't want it to be massive. So please sign up. It's not just for if you do not have to get a denial and then pay me thousands of dollars to correct something that you could easily just learn what to do now and avoid that legal fee or the possibility of a final denial. Why not take advantage of that? So if you go on our website, this is what you're going to see. Continue. You have to fill all the information, and the very last page where I am circling right here, you see where it says select file. You're able to add your divorce decree documents to that, so that before November 9, he's able to review that. Has a plan, a strategy in place for you if it's possible to have it amended, whatever the case may be. At least you're going to have that opportunity to take care of that rather than wait until the last minute. I'm not sure what else is going to make sense than that. So take advantage of that. November 9, 2024, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's on a Saturday. And see, y'all know I don't play my Saturdays, but this is really important because it's almost like, and about 75% of the appeal cases that I do in immigration have to do with divorce decrees. If I can avoid that, or if we can prevent that, why not? So let's come together, let's learn. And like I said, what all the number of people who show up, the total is going directly to him, because it is worth it for him, for us to know from someone who is doing that on a daily basis. Because I don't practice. Yeah, I'm still licensed in Nigeria, but I'm not there. I haven't been in over 2 decades. Don't your judgments to yourself. So I need someone to tell me, hey, what is going on? What is this, right? What should this look like? And because of that, I've needed to learn a whole lot. But this is someone who does this for a living. He's able to show us what needs to be done. That's that. I mean, you cannot put a price tag on that, really. And so, once again, it's on our website, olalayalawfirm.com, info@olalayalawfirm.com. If you need help, we can help you with that. But go on YouTube, on Facebook and Instagram. Right there, it's a pin to the top of the pages, so that you're able to see that easily and sign up for it. All righty. That's a mouthful, but yeah, there we go. Let's talk immigration, people. What are we talking about tonight? Approved employment petition and overstay. Approved employment petition and overstay. That's what we're talking about tonight. So I wanted to bring this up so we can address this issue. There's a recurring trend that a lot of immigrants are falling into. A lot of people are, especially those who have pending asylum cases, people waiting for interview in asylum cases. And then they, while you're waiting all these years, you go back to school, whether you take some certifications as a data analyst or IT in the IT field, you go back to school, you become a nurse and an RN and a BS and all of that while you're still waiting for an interview. And then, you've got these additional qualifications and someone tells you, hey, a hospital can actually file for you, or this company can file for you as their data engineer, and you can work, file a green card petition on your behalf. They sell you with that, and then you get the I-140 petition, which is the immigrant worker petition approved. Then the next question is, how does that cure, quote unquote, cure your overstay? Most people would have overstayed their non-immigrant visas, right? So, but you get this petition and they tell you, oh, yes, you can get your green card through that. That's where a lot of people are seeing a lot of issues. There's a lady right now that, based on an agency's, this healthcare agency's, you can't say they gave her legal advice, because she knew from the beginning that it's not illegal. They just do things themselves, but based on their wrong information, she just put in, without saying anything else, they filed an I-140 for her. She filed a green card application. Long story short, USCIS denied that case because she is out of status. And she was going through a marriage case that didn't work out. So, they ended up withdrawing that case. Went back to school, became an RN. They told her, oh, great, we can file a petition for you. She was happy. They did all that. Actually, at that time that it was filed, the priority was still current. So they were able to file everything at the same time. I-140 was approved. Then it came down to I-485. She was scheduled for an interview by USCIS. All the information that she needed to know prior to filing that nobody told her, and she didn't think to consult with an attorney. Case denied, referred to immigration court. That's how serious it gets. So how does an approved employment petition help with an visa overstay? Short answer is it doesn't. It doesn't. So does it cure your overstay? Short answer, no. A petition is just it's a standalone petition just by itself, right? It does not mean that because an employer can file an I-140 immigrant worker petition on your behalf does not translate into that means you can get a green card automatically. No, one does not. Is I-485 is not a standalone application. It's got to be based on an underlying petition, I-140, I-130, I-360, asylum, you name it, right? But the question then is, after that petition has now been approved, can you file your I-485 based on that? That's where the analysis of what your status is, what category are you filing based of, and then what is your status? If you are trying to get a green card through employment routes, hear me loud and clear. Unless the only exception to you being out of status and being able to get a green card based on an employment immigrant petition filed that you're the beneficiary of is if you have not overstayed your non-immigrant visa for more than 180 days. If you have overstayed your non-immigrant visa over 6 months and an employer or an agency is telling you they can file your green card application on your behalf once they approve your I-140, please hear me loud and clear. That is absolutely false. If you've overstayed, the fact that maybe you filed for asylum and now you're authorized to stay does not do anything for you at that point. So an approved employment petition does not cure any issues you have with unlawful presence. Unlawful presence has to be taken care of. The fact that you have an approved work visa, immigrant visa, does not mean that you still don't have to go through the admissibility analysis. I-485 has to do with admissibility. I-485 is not contingent on or doesn't change or doesn't get approved based off of the kind of petition you file. It is the green card application which you file because you qualify for an immigration classification. But for you to have that green card, then you must be able to show that you are admissible, you're eligible for admission. Employment cases are very stringent in the sense of you will be required to maintain a valid status up till the time you file, until USCIS gets your I-485, a valid non-immigrant status is required. The only exception to that, like I said, is you have not overstayed your non-immigrant status for more than 180 days. If you have, that's it. There is just no way around that. There's no exception, nothing. You would have started, but by the time you get to day 181, day 182, you have at the very minimum trigger the 3-year permanent bar from coming in. So that means that not only would you not qualify to apply for a green card in the country, in order for you to apply for an immigrant visa at the embassy, which would be the only other option you have to have a 601A waiver of unlawful presence approved prior to leaving the country. There's no guarantee that you're going to get the visa stamp of the embassy. So if you are in a position where someone tells you, hey, we can file an immigrant worker petition on your behalf and you can get your green card through that, be sure you're asking the right questions. Most of the time, like for instance, I represent employers. I love doing business immigration. I love it. It's half of my practice. Love it. I represent corporations in the sense of institutions, as you say, universities and schools, and in one organization. I don't represent the intending immigrant, meaning the employee, until we are done with the employer side. So if you're doing for instance, a Schedule A petition for a nurse, you're representing the employer. If you're doing a perm-based application, you're starting with the DOL, Department of Labor, you're going through the perm recruitment process and all of that. That's got to be completed before you even start to represent the employee. So my point in all that is this: for the most part, there are quite a number of attorneys that don't even get to speak or communicate with the intended employee because they don't have to deal with you yet. And sometimes, and because an employer is not required to pay your legal fees for the green card application process, you really wouldn't have anything where you're dealing with them unless you decide to use the same attorney or you get your own attorney. So because of that, a lot of immigrants who are beneficiaries of employment visa petitions do not get the chance to communicate with the immigration attorney that is working and representing the employer until that petition has now been approved. And then you're trying to figure out, how do I get a green card? And then the reality sets in when you realize that that approved petition really does nothing for you once you have overstayed your non-immigrant status. So educate yourself, get the knowledge you need. That's why it's very, very essential to have an evaluation with an immigration attorney, have a consultation. I always say, it doesn't make sense to be penny wise, pound foolish. And, people would say, Sister Laya, I can imagine free consultation. This is it. Here we are with free consultation. But if you are going to, if you are serious about making sure you get the right information for your case, it's going to cost you money. That's just the way it is, unless you're telling us as attorney that we don't deserve to get paid. So do yourself a favor, get the information you need before you sign any contract with anyone promising you that it can do A, B, C, D for you. And then when the truth of the matter is, when and some agencies, a lot of those who do this are usually agencies. They will look for people and tell them, especially if you're, when the priority date was current, they did a lot of that. A lot of that. They filed for people and say, hey, yes, we can file everything concurrently. And once you get your work authorization, you're able to get your work authorization, you can work with us. People are sold with that. You get the work authorization approved, so you're waiting on the green card part of it, and that's it, right? You're already working for them. And by the time USCIS gets to your case and denies your case, they've moved on to the next person that they're going to tell the same story to. So they're not losing anything. You're the one who's not going to have to figure out how to clean up the mess they created for you. So be informed, know exactly what you need to know. Seek the advice of an immigration attorney before you make any moves regarding an employment-based petition. That's all she wrote, people. That's it. Let's see how many questions we can get to. So everybody, did anyone take their kid trick or treating something? Shemo my love or candy. That's what it is. But anyway, disclaimer, general responses to questions, nothing specific to anyone's case. So let's see how many we can go through. Okay. All right, let's see. And yes, once again, thank you, Miss Avena. We please share, subscribe. The more you know. Yes. Please share, subscribe. With friends, family, you just never know who's going to benefit. Every Tuesday, Thursdays, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Good evening, Ms. Giwa. How are you? Happy Thursday and happy new month in advance to you as well. Yes, it is a positive platform where we share our immigration journeys, testimonies, encouraging one another. Nothing like being in the midst of people who are like-minded and want you to succeed. You'll be amazed how much the power of positivity, that energy that you surround yourself with. I am a firm believer in people's energy. If your energy does not match with mine, please, I will be dealing with you from a distance, from afar, not even with a long spoon. We ain't even eating together. It's just like, hey, share that friendly one thing, because mental wellness is very important for me. And I believe that what you surround, you become what you surround yourself with. If you want to see why, check those around you to see why you are the way you are. And you've got to make sure that what you surround yourself is in tune with what God has in store for you. So anyway, Glove Master, I'm not sure what you mean by break down the total time it takes. What is that to break down? And you repeated your question, even though we said don't repeat questions. Okay, let's see. My VOD case is in the senator's office. Why will your VOD case be in the senator's office now? But they're having difficulty with my signature, so now I would have to do over my Privacy Act and get it notarized and send it in my... It's not in your senator's office. I don't want to say your name. It's not like it's in your... You reached out to your senator, so you're trying to get them to assist in figuring out what's going on with your VOD case. So they need you to sign a release of information form. Yeah. So, all right. What my question? Will they include my daughter? I would have to petition her separately, but my spouse did petition both of us, and my spouse was ill and he died last month. Sorry to hear about that. What do you mean by will they include your daughter? I'm not understanding your question. Will who are you? Who's they that's going to include your daughter? And how old is your daughter? Um, total time for VA cases. Um, yeah, that's very true. The VA petition itself, well, I usually tell people just get yourself ready for at least 3 years, 4 years from start to finish, including the VA time frame and your green card application. From when you start to when you finish, give yourself about 3 years, at least 3 years, 3 to 4 years. Okay, let's see. Can my spouse do the medicals and submit with I-130? Medicals are supposed to be submitted with I-485. Let's see. Can a friend co-sponsor you with an affidavit of support? I'm not sure I understand what you're asking me, but if you're asking if can a friend co-sponsor, I mean, the joint sponsor is going to be someone other than your spouse. That's the whole point. But are you asking if your friend can be a joint sponsor? I'm not sure I understand what you're asking. User 65434 ... kind of thing. Your hair is beautiful. Thank you. Where is your office located? We are physically located in Alabama, but we represent immigration clients in all 50 states. Immigration is federal practice, so it doesn't really matter. Actually, it doesn't matter what state you live in. So if it's a case type, it just depends on if it's a case type that I do and what kind of case you have. Is it going to need traveling for interviews? It just depends, but we represent immigration clients in all states. I got my green card through employment and in removal proceedings. How can I close this case? Talk to a lawyer. Talk to a lawyer. And how did you get your green card through employment if you're in removal proceedings? Did you come in as a were you admitted as an arriving alien, or well, the way you want to do that is to talk to a lawyer. That's what you need to do. Milo Lilo from Bali. Really? What time is it in Bali? Thank you. Thank you for joining. Yeah, I told you that. Thank you very much. Appreciate sharing that. I'm looking to get married to an American for true love. Okay. How long will it take to get my work permit? Okay, so if you're just looking to get married to an American for true love, I think you should get married first and then file. Because it's anyway, let's move on. Anything about how soon is someone's if your office is going to approve how long something takes, please go on uscis.gov/processing time. That's the same place I would also go. Is it safe to travel internationally with I-751 extension letter? I don't ever advise anyone who's not a client to travel, but generally, hey mama, my mom just joined. Generally, as long as you have the original copy of your I-751 and your green card, whether or not it's expired, those most airlines will want you to have those two documents with you. Generally you should be fine. I'm not telling you to travel, I'm just telling that generally that's usually what would happen. Because the extension notice allows you to extend your green card, so that shows that you're a legal permanent resident. I am an asylee and received my green card in 2022. Is it true that I can apply for U.S. citizenship for 5 years? No, unless you join the military. I wish I had seen that you put your question like 200 times. I would have skipped it altogether. It blows my mind. Just something really, really simple, simple request. Mm. Okay, let me see if I understand what you're asking. Is it possible to change the status if you marry after divorce? If you marry after divorce, the K1 wife, would that change your status? Okay, I guess what you're asking is it possible to adjust your status through marriage to another person if you married the person who filed the K1 for you, but you've gotten divorced from them and you didn't file adjustment of status? I think that's what you're asking. If that's what you're asking, the short answer is no. The K1 visa that you came into the country with is tied to that person who filed it. You cannot change status or adjust status based on married to somebody else. Okay, so my question is, can a friend be a joint sponsor? As long as the person is over the age of 18 and older, and they are either a green card holder or citizen. I got my green card through marriage while my asylum was pending. Will I need to cancel the asylum? Yes. Contact the asylum office, send them a letter, send a copy of your copy of your green card, so let them know the reason you are you're writing to withdraw the application. I came in through J1. Okay. Chioma, so an employer filed for you, so you have your green card now. I'm still trying to figure out how you got a green card if you're in removal proceedings. But like I said, this is just general. This is general information kind of forum. So sit down with an attorney just to be sure that they have your full picture. We'll be glad to evaluate your case. If you go on our website, olalayalawfirm.com, you'll be able to schedule a consultation there. So, but either with my firm or somebody else, just make sure you're doing the right thing to know what steps to take. I-45 case is closed, but my I-36 is approved. Congratulations. What can I do? You're going to have to contact USCIS to reopen that. If it's admin closed, maybe because you're in immigration court or something, then it's time to speak with an attorney, because we do that a whole lot, help people to reopen their cases and all. So, okay. Does anyone notice processing times keep increasing? Absolutely. That's why you people create USCIS accounts and it says that the USCIS will give an estimated time, 3 weeks, 3 months. You wake up the next day, it's 800 years. I don't follow that. I just let them do whatever it is for you, because you're going to just give yourself unnecessary anxiety. It's not worth it. Hello, Mr. Tola. How are you? She's 17 now. I've been waiting for 3 years now. The USCIS office, will they include her, or will I have to? You should have included her in your VAW petition. So if she was listed in your VAW petition and also listed in when you received the prima facie determination, her name was there. That's basically all you need. And so once you get your case approved, you would get your approval will come with what we call a notice of dependent. that will list your derivative beneficiaries. And if she hasn't filed a green card, then at that point you can. If you're in doubt, I think the best thing you can do for yourself and for your daughter is to sit down with a lawyer. Okay. And you just never know, if people, and I'm not saying, if people are not smart. Obviously, we're all smart people, no. But some people go to school for different things for a reason, right? I went to law school and because I love to argue, and this is what I love to do. I can argue with a ghost in my sleep. It is just what it is. I mean, what can I say? It's the gift God gave me. It really is a gift. Arguing is how I make a living. Hey, but um, but I would not diagnose myself if I have a headache. I deal with migraines a lot, and there's a whole lot that comes to your head. Okay, what could be causing this? But to pass to me, my office, my physician, like, okay, you know what? I need to come see you guys because they're the experts. So I say all that to say this, like, if you're, and I understand legal fees can be really high, but sometimes just sitting down with a lawyer to go through your entire file, just to even have a feel of what's going on, that can help you. So you're not trying to figure out questions. And that's one thing about having a lawyer, because if you have a lawyer in your case, then you're not worried about, okay, is your child going to be included or not, because the lawyer would have done that from the beginning. Just my own 2 cents. That's all. Okay, let's see. Hey, Mr. Magic, what's going on? Miss Enda Sanctuary has put the fear of God in you. That's why you're coming, because we know what you did. You got your green card and you just voted. Alright, just like that. Get what you need, and that's it. But before you got what you needed, we saw you every Tuesday and Thursday. That's how it is. Yes, I'm calling you out, but it is what it is, because I know I'm going to see you in 2 years and 8.5 months, God willing. Y'all, is pouring here. Hello, Mr. Ode. How are you? Hello, Mr. Abiodun. How are you doing? Akale. I know it was you. Thank you. I'm just getting over this cold, y'all. If you guys can hear the rain, it's always a confidence booster listening to you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you, Miss Albina. I haven't worn this in forever. Like, y'all, if to know me to know, like, I am obsessed with jewelry. I love it. About it, say with your glasses. Yeah, you already know. I don't see nothing. I can't see anything. Oh, it's been raining there as well since the afternoon. I couldn't be here. Halloween plans canceled. May God have mercy on you, in Center Sanctuary, because you just ruined all those kids' happiness. I don't get it. And I know it's the American culture. I don't get it. Command love from house to us. Jeff wanted kid count, Jeff wanted tweets. I mean, my kids did when they were young. And most of the time I end up throwing the down candy away because it's like, who's going to go pay for take you to Denny's when all your teeth are missing from your mouth? I'm not doing it. It's just going to be. But anyway. Thank you, Miss Mazala. How are you? Congratulations to you. So, Miss Mazala, and y'all don't even understand how, especially when you've been in a situation where you just don't know the way out. Miss Mazala is one of my clients, and could not go home. Hasn't been able to go home because immigration issues. Her dad passed away. She couldn't go visit, and she didn't go for the burial. And knowing that now we've started a process where not only can she work and take care of herself and not be dependent on someone, she's able to go home and see her mom who's ill, and so that at least she's able to see her parents. So the freedom that comes with this kind of work, it's indescribable. It's just really a truly rewarding job. It's highly pressurizing. It's a high pressure job, but it's worth it. So congratulations to you. It was great consulting with you yesterday. You're so wonderful and professional. Thank you. I remember who you are. Thank you for. I enjoyed speaking with you yesterday as well. And I sent you an email afterwards. I'm guessing that you got that email, and with the links that we talked about. Third time, Dilly from Boston. Yes, thank you for your um for tuning in each Tuesday and Thursday now for 3 consecutive days. We appreciate that. It's like God heard my cry. Since last week, it's been one Halloween event or another. Just scary looking things all over the place. Like I said, y'all keep your judgment to yourself. I just don't care for Halloween at all. When in doubt, check this page for the contact details so you don't fall victim to scammers. Absolutely. Someone just recently, I think I'm just almost immune to it now. We just reported to the social media platform that is on. Someone still sent me something on Monday. They actually used they used one of I'm not even sure it was Mr. Magic's post. I think it was. I'm not sure it was Mr. Magic's green card they put on this fake page, and I'm like, I can you to play. I mean, that's all I can do. That's all. I mean, yeah. So please do your research before you pay anyone, and that's the one thing that I always tell people. The one way you know that you're not dealing with the real person is we never ask you for credit card or debit card information to pay for your consultation. You are going to be the one or get someone to help you to enter that information. We don't. You're going to do it from your end. So if someone is telling you, hey, pay this for us to set up a consultation for you, that's your red flag. That's the first, like, I know she already said they wouldn't ask that because we don't. That's my standing policy. No one's going to break that. So yeah. Okay, let's see. Please, if you do come on YouTube, kindly like the video and subscribe to the channel, please. We are Shako. Okay, thank you, Epic Movement. Yeah, it's on our page. Let's see. Trying not to miss anyone's question. I filed for my case in February 2023. I received my work permit in August 2023, and since then I have not heard back from the USCIS. Should I be worried? I don't think so, because I'm almost guaranteed your case is probably still within normal processing time. My mom would tell me that don't take candy from strangers when I was growing up, so I never got into. Yeah, that's the African way. Well, you don't ever, even if you go out with your parents, you don't go. And I still do with my kids. I mean, I speak with my eyes a lot when we go out, because when you if you know, you know. But growing up as my mom, you're going to take some what from who that your mom didn't approve. No. So I want long Toro candy. No, it's an African music. Yes, can eat even relatives home. You can just eat without looking at your mother like. You get the okay from the eye from from the look before you eat anything. Yep. I have EAD for 5 years pending asylum, no court hearing. My question is, will there be issues if I get married with a citizen and file for green card before my EAD expires or before court? So you've already been referred to immigration court. I take it, Mr. Dilly. If that's the case, then one thing you should know is if you get married while you are in removal proceedings, first of all, the law says you cannot. That's what the law says. But if you do, you're required to also file what we call a bona fide exemption when you file your petition with USCIS, just so you know. So that's something you're going to have to do. But you can, as long as it's a genuine marriage. Over the horse. Let's put my time. Good evening, Mr. Țăvintaiă. How are you? My I-130 has been approved, and my I-45 is still pending. But my wife wants a divorce. Will that affect my case? It potentially will. Sometimes USCIS, however, can use discretion, especially if your wife still does not withdraw her affidavit of support. But in this case, if you don't have a lawyer already, I would strongly recommend that you consult with one so you know what your options are. Hello, Mr. Maggie. Um, seriously. Amen. Scammers will not go unpunished. Why steal someone else's content? You just get to a point you're like, you know what? I have a headache already. Some go as far as promoting it. Well, I mean, I've not had that. Knock on wood. Hopefully not, because that will be another level. Sister Laurie, are you on TikTok? I am. I am on TikTok, and that's the one place that I've actually had more of those fraudulent pages being opened. Okay. All right. I think we got through. Just got married. We gave 2 addresses because of work. Is that a red flag for USCIs? No, it's not. It's actually good because you're being upfront, and if that question comes up, then you're able to explain that. I do that in cases like someone working in another state, and yeah, so it's not a red flag. Case transferred from NBC to field office. Does that mean I have an interview? I can't speculate to whether or not that means you have an interview. I'm on an F1 visa, thinking of O visa than NIW. What do you feel about that? Plus, any advice on the same? Well, first of all, you need to know that you qualify. So that's what what I feel is have your case evaluated and make sure that you have the qualifications for either O visa or start an NIW case. Okay. If your wife withdraws sponsorship in Canada, if your wife withdraws sponsorship in Canada, can the person go for asylum? Asylum is not about someone withdrawing their sponsorship. Asylum is you're taking asylum in the United States because you're saying you're afraid to go back to your home country based on a specific ground. Thank you for sharing, Choma. That's very much appreciated. Okay. All right. I'm due to file for citizenship. However, my husband is out of state and we don't have joint taxes. Will that be a problem? Again, like I always say, general information, general space, general platform. Your specific facts are best discussed and evaluated in the consultation. Having said that, marital union is not just about you always being under the same roof every single day. Marital union it's a unit, and with everyday life routine or activities, as long as you're able to show that it's still a marital union and someone being out of state for work does not break that marital union requirement. But as far as your case in particular, meet with an attorney and make sure that that's not going to be a problem. That's not going to prevent you from filing based on 3 years and not having to wait for 5 years. You're welcome, Mr. Dimmy. Can you file? Oh, my baby's home. Can you file a VA if you have a J1 visa previously? If you are the petition is a standard petition, that's not a problem, but the goal is to adjust your status. So if you were subject to the 2-year home residency rule, that doesn't go away because you filed for VA. You still have to get a waiver of that before you're able to get a green card. Okay. See, that was, besides a couple of people who repeated the questions on TikTok, that went pretty fast and pretty smooth. All right. It's amazing how 1 hour just goes by. So once again, people, just a reminder that this webinar, you do not want to miss it. Yeah. So you don't want to miss it, because the thing is, you're going to end up coming like us. It's like, I want my deny case me because of the work. This is the time to have address that issue now before you get to that stage, especially for those who have not filed. If you have not filed anything yet, it doesn't get better than this. Knowing whether or not what you intend to submit is going to be a problem or not, and if it needs to be taken care of, then you need to take care of it right now. Hey, baby. Hi. Did you have a good time? Yeah. Y'all ate or something? Yeah. Okay. You want to go take a shower? Okay. How many people were there? I don't know, like 50, 40. That many people in Miss Callie's house? Well, she's a better person than I, because I'm having 40 high schoolers in my house. Not till Jesus comes back. Not doing it. Can I consult with you on my case? Absolutely. If you go to our website, olalayalawfirm.com, or send a text to Lydia on WhatsApp 334-341-4475, or call us when we open 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. Ashanti will be able to help you with that information. So we'll be glad to evaluate your case for you. Okay. I think that's it. So check out that information. Let's get started in taking control over, because we can. It's almost like you're Nigerian, and it's almost like being Nigerian and that has a pending immigration marriage case equates fraudulent document. Let's change the narrative and see how we can tell our own story the way it's supposed to be, not because somebody said something. So that's something we're going to learn a week from Saturday, which is November 9th, 2024. And it would just be great to have people have the knowledge that they need. But in other news, tomorrow is a new month. We are starting November and trusting God that God has gone before us. And we know that we will meet with favor. We start. I have a tradition of, and I know a lot of us, especially if you grew up in the Caribbean or African household, you have, either you've got the watch night vigil service, or you pray into the year, or first day of the year, you've got goals and prayer points and all that. And I'm sure many of us do. We go through it and we're like, you know what, this is almost the end of the year. This hasn't happened. This is what happened, and it set me back. There is no setback when it comes to a child of God. There's just no setback. It's just, what it looks like a delay to us, sometimes it's just part of the plan. So as we start a new month tomorrow, we're believing and trusting and hello, Miss Geraldine, agreeing in faith that November is going to welcome us into the month of breakthroughs, of blessings, of abundance, of grace, of favor, of impossibilities becoming possibilities, because there is no such thing as impossibility in God's vocabulary. So we know that even though we're getting closer to the end of the year, our biggest thanksgiving to God is that we're still here all through the year 2024. And our biggest prayer is that we will still be here even after 2024, because the Bible says the number of our days he shall fulfill. So the goal is, as long as we have breath and we have hope to get up each day, we know that he's going to meet our expectations shall be met. It's not, there's this thing that my mom taught me, and I pray to God I'm able to also teach my kids, which I think I'm knock on wood doing a good job so far. I've learned as an individual never to compare my life to someone, because I've also understood from an early age that we do not have the same clock in life. We do not have, even twins don't have the same destiny. How much more someone who's not related to me? I have also learned that it is absolutely okay to celebrate with other people, because I've seen that when I celebrate with other people, I'm bringing in blessings into my life. I'm opening up my heart and my soul to receive, to be receptive to the blessings that God is going to send to me, in being content where I am, but also being in a mode of expectation, and being able to rejoice as someone during their time of celebration. Because I know, convinced beyond anything, that my time of celebration shall come to. And so I can't spend time wondering why theirs worked out and mine hasn't worked out. No, I'm rejoicing with you because I'm also rejoicing because your story is also a reminder that because God has done it for you, that reminds me that He is God who is able. Like my youngest son's name, Oluwatoshi, God is able. There's nothing that He cannot do. So, I call that kid every single day, and I'm speaking into his life each and every day that God is able. That is his name, and that is a praise. And to be able to, and this kid to Oluwashi, God has done this. He's able to do that which He has promised. And because I know that He's not man that He should lie, in November, we're going to meet with those promises from God. So we're going to welcome November tomorrow, and we're going to be positive and speak blessings into our destinies for the month of November, for the month of December, knowing fully well that God is able to complete that which He has started. And so shall it be. I will see you guys next month. Have a good evening, everyone. Bye bye.